A dramatic end to the siege that's gripped Melbourne and ended a fugitive's run. Melbourne's bikie war escalates with a well-known enforcer shot in an ambush. Soccer fans targeted by an unprecedented security crackdown. And raising awareness as Sam Steins joins thousands of others marching to stop cancer.
Live from Melbourne, this is 7 News with Peter Mitchell.
Good evening. Fugitive Antonio Laguancio's one-man siege in Glenroy is over. The man known as Mad Dog is believed dead after his bungalow hideout erupted in flames late this afternoon. Michael Scanlon witnessed Laguancio's dramatic end and joins us now from the scene. Michael, take us through those final moments.
Thanks, Mitch. Yeah, it's been a day of high drama here at Glenroy. Around 2 o'clock, we really noticed the scene started to change here. We heard what sounded like some sort of gunshot. We can't establish whether it was a police gun or some sort of rubber pellet being fired into the bungalow where Laguancio was. We then noticed flames and smoke being issuing from the area where he had been holed up for the past 43 hours. We do know now that the coroner is in the scene at the moment, and we do know that there is a body up there, but police are yet to confirm whether it is Laguancio. We are still waiting for that information, which will be with us in a few minutes.
After a 43-hour standoff, the police siege that's gripped Melbourne came to a dramatic end. Shots rang out just after 2 o'clock this afternoon, fired by police officers. And then smoke started billowing from the bungalow where wanted fugitive Antonio Laguancio had been holed up for the past 3 days. All along, he told police he wouldn't be taken alive. Laguancio stayed true to his word. For most of today, it had been civil. Police negotiators were pleading with him to walk out peacefully. They would ring sirens to keep him awake in the hope fatigue would force him to give up.
Tony, the police come out of your bungalow, walk down the driveway where you will be met by police.
Unfortunately, patience wore thin and police went into action, ending the siege that had seen the suburb of Glenroy in lockdown.
It's pretty dangerous. I don't feel comfortable living in this area anymore.
It's scary. Very, very scary.
This man had spent time in Barwon prison with Laguancio and says a siege situation wouldn't faze the 40-year-old.
He's spent a lot of time in isolation, so
you think
he knows what's going on when it comes to being by yourself.
Old friends arrived on scene, pleading with the man dubbed Mad Dog to hand himself in before he was harmed.
Come out, give yourself up. The people who know you best, so don't worry about what's being said and just want you safe.
Unfortunately, those pleas fell on deaf ears. Michael Scanlon, 7 News.
To breaking news now, and a difficult rescue is underway in Melbourne's northeast after a man fell down a steep embankment. It's believed the man in his 20s fell 15 metres from a footbridge to rocks below. Ambulance and fire crews are trying to winch the man to safety. They say he's lucky to be alive. Bandidos enforcer Toby Mitchell is in hospital after surviving another attempt on his life. The 38-year-old sergeant-at-arms was ambushed and shot in the arm as he walked into the clubhouse of another outlaw gang in Melbourne. Brendan Roberts has the story.
Bandidos sergeant-at-arms Toby Mitchell has a target on him, one that his rivals hit again on Friday night. Mitchell was shot in the arm.
The balloons go.
Some of the balloons didn't want to go, and I thought, oh, that would be Jim, you know, I'm not ready to go anywhere, I'm staying here, so it's like, you know.
Emily Angwin, 7 News.
Ahead in 7 News, the police blitz catching out rogue truckies on our highways. Residents step up their protest against a new Arthur's Seat chairlift, and dozens of lonely hearts looking for a perfect match. Dozens of Arthur's Seat residents have stepped up their campaign against a new proposal for the Mornington Peninsula Summit. They want a planned $14 million redevelopment of the tourist icon scaled back, claiming it's out of character with the area. They also fear extending the ride over the summit could distract drivers and pose a risk to pedestrians.
We'll take it from the realm of exceedingly annoying into almost unbearable and intolerable.
The chairlift, which ceased operating in 2006, is being dismantled to make way for a larger gondola ride. Rogue truckies have been put on notice as police stage a nighttime crackdown on drugged and speeding drivers. Dean Felton joined the highway patrol from Wangaratta to see how they're making Victoria's roads safer.
Searched, booked and ordered off the road. It's not how this driver expected his trip down the Hume freeway to end. Relatively quiet by day, it becomes a river of heavy.
It's a really fun night.
So far the night has resulted in 3 weddings and at least 1 baby. Tonight's sport is next with Sandy Roberts.
Thank you, Mitch. And coming up tonight, feathers fly as the Saints and the Swans do battle at Etihad. Also a rough pre-season, but it's still a happy team at Hawthorn. The Aussies fight to edge their way back into the second test. And high drama as tempers boil over in the V8s.
This sports update proudly brought to you by RACV.
Hello again. It's a big day of NAB Cup action with 3 games being played this evening at Etihad Stadium. Reigning Premier Sydney has a slender lead over St Kilda, while the Demons and Port Adelaide are locked in a tight one in hot conditions in Renmark in South Australia. And tonight Collingwood will take on the Eagles in Perth. Tom Brown has the highlights.
The Saints are almost at full strength, but Sydney made an impressive start, 12 points up in a hard-fought first quarter. Ahmed Saad's run-up didn't look much shorter, still more than 30 seconds. And while he's
and Aussie 5-time world champ Stephanie Gilmore and Sally Fitzgibbons have cruised through their heats at the Roxy Pro on the Gold Coast at Snapper Rocks. Sean Salby, 7 News.
And Mitch, just before I go, soccer news. Hart have gone down to Wellington, but Melbourne victory look as though they've turned the corner. They lead 4-0 over Newcastle. That's at about the 60-minute mark of that match.
4-0. Thank you very much, Sandy.
Back in town.
Now, checking last night's Tats Lotto results, the numbers you needed for a win: 42, 18, 20, 13, 43 and 11. The supplementary numbers 12 and 30. Now, Chris Barth with a look ahead to Sunday night.
Thanks, Peter. Tonight, she stopped growing at 2. Now Renee's a 20-year-old whose bond with cricket legend Steve Waugh will have you cheering in the aisles. And Steve Carell, outrageous and seriously funny. That's after Melbourne's weather with Giaan Rooney.
This weather update brought to you by CUA.
Recapping our main stories, a dramatic siege ends. Police find a body in a Glenroy bungalow. Melbourne's bikie war escalates with a well-known enforcer shot. Soccer fans protest at Amy Park over tighter security measures. And Sam Steins marches for Jim to raise awareness of skin cancer. Now, Giaan Rooney with the weather. And Giaan, that was Melbourne's weather at its best today.
It certainly was, Mitch. Nothing but sunshine with a couple of light northeasterlies, so pretty close to perfect. We reached our top of 28.9 degrees just before 4:30 after an overnight low of 14.1. At the moment, it's still a stunning 28 degrees, which is in the 30s with a lot of sunshine right the way through, up to 34 on Thursday. So some beautiful autumn weather on the way, Mitch.
Magnificent. Thanks very much, Giaan. And that's the way it is this Sunday, the 3rd of March. Thanks for your company. Sunday night is next with Chris Barth.